Hey everyone, welcome back to Keeping It Real, the place to be for all the latest movie reviews and trailer reactions. I'm your host James, joined by Jack, and today we're going to review Luca Guadagnino's Bones and All. Before we dive in, as we're on Manuel, we are on Twitter at Keeping It Real UK. Give us a follow, and from there you can find links to all of our streaming platforms and social media. We're on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Instagram, and TikTok. Whichever app you use to listen to your podcasts, make sure to follow us, like us, and give us a 5-star rating. It really helps us out. We're also on YouTube, and we'd love to have you all as subscribers so you never miss another video. All right, Bones and All, the plots. Love blossoms between a young woman on the margins of society and a disenfranchised drifter as they embark on a 3,000-mile odyssey through the back roads of America. However, despite their best efforts, all roads lead back to their terrifying pasts and a final stand that will determine whether their love can survive their differences. Directed by Luca Guadagnino, who you'll know from Suspiria and Call Me By Your Name, starring Timothée Chalamet, Taylor Russell, and Mark Rylance. The movie released in theaters on November 23rd, 2022, and currently sits at an 83% on Rotten Tomatoes. Jack, what did you think of Bones and All?
Man, this movie wasn't for me. They didn't make this for me. They weren't thinking about me during the production of this movie. Like when I heard it was coming out, I was like, oh man, Call Me By Your Name was a lovely love story. Maybe it's gonna be something like that. And then
Guessing
I
you
didn't
didn't
watch the
watch
trailer.
Suspiria then?
No, I didn't know.
No, that's what I had
Obviously
in
not.
mind. Yeah.
And yeah, I didn't watch the trailer for it. And then I think I read somewhere about like the cannibalism thing, and I was just like, oh, okay, well, that's a choice, but yeah, I'll still go watch it. And like the first act of cannibalism in this movie, like I was like, no, I'm not in this. This isn't for me. I want to
Yeah.
leave. And that's like my issue with this movie is like, like on paper, it's a good movie. Like it's well acted, it's well written, it's shot well, but all of that to me was irrelevant. Like
Yeah.
I was just so out of it after that one scene, and then I think that's the worst one because I don't think you see that one coming, whereas the others they're quite like bloody and like forthright. They're like, yeah, we're gonna fucking eat people. But that
Yeah.
one, I didn't know it was happening.
Oh, the
And
noise.
it was just
Yeah.
it was the noise and like the slur. No, it was awful, absolutely awful. Um, yeah, like I don't have much else to say about this movie. It just went through me.
Yeah, I share that sentiment. I do. Like you said, solid performances. Timothée Chalamet's great. Taylor Russell's fantastic. Their chemistry really works. Mark Rylance is terrifying and unsettling, and I hated every minute he was on screen, which is, props to him because that's definitely what they were going for. This is basically, a very visceral analogy for feeling different in the world, feeling like an outsider, and somehow finding your soulmate, your partner in crime, someone who just sees you and understands you despite your differences. Obviously, this it's a romance movie, it's a horror movie, it's a road trip movie. There's a lot sort of going on, but because I'm like you, I don't really relish in feeling uncomfortable when I'm watching a movie. I just want to enjoy it. So going into this, I was very aware of how I felt watching Suspiria, which was a nightmare, a 2.5-hour nightmare. 45 minutes into that movie, I was like, this is not for me. When is it ending? And I looked, oh God, I've got so long left. Yeah, hated every minute. But again, I can appreciate the good aspects of that film, like with this one. This wasn't as far as Suspiria went. That was really fucked. Going into
Yeah,
this, I know me and Reese saw the trailer a few weeks back, and we weren't sure what they actually were. They don't really spell it out for you in the trailer. Obviously, they're eating people, but we were like, are they vampires? Are they like fucking werewolves? No, they're just cannibals. But there does seem to
they
be,
have a hunger.
yeah. But
Yeah,
it's like this instinctual hunger that needs to be fed. It's not just someone who enjoys eating people.
and it also seems to be hereditary. So,
Yeah. No,
so,
yeah, I forgot
so
about that. Yeah.
don't have kids. Like,
If you like eating people, don't have kids. That because
yeah,
it might
like
pass on to
just
them.
and like the bit that really, are we talking spoilers now?
Yeah,
We
if you
talk
haven't seen Bones and All, check out, go see it, and then come back and join us for spoilers. Yeah, go on.
so like obviously the movie is like the whole point of like the road trip is she's trying to find her mum.
Yeah.
Um, because her dad basically lives like you're like your mother. She goes off to find her. When she eventually does, she's in some like mental hospital, and she's the mum that she says afterwards she's eaten her own arms so that she
Well, I saw,
can't.
yeah, she had no hands, and I was like, oh, I think she's eaten them. I think she's
I,
eaten her hands.
that didn't click for me at all until
No.
she said it. She didn't have any arms, and I was like, mental. I wonder why she didn't have any arms. And then he was like, she ate her own arms, and I was like, oh Christ! I was like, and then I
No.
was like sat in my chair like, ew.
That's how I felt. Right. So yeah, I had like a private screening of this. As soon as that first bit of cannibalism happened, she bites off her friend's finger, and you see the bone. I was like, oh
It's
no.
because like it's because you see her bite it, and then you see her pull away, but
Yeah,
it like pulls off the.
yeah, yeah.
Oh God,
Oh,
yeah,
like a
man.
chicken wing out of the air fryer, just off the bone.
Yeah, like
Delicious.
this podcast isn't going to be. This is going to be a. This should be a YouTube only podcast because if people listen to this on Spotify, they're just going to hear us going like.
But yeah, so that happened, and I was like, I'm in uncomfortable town now, and there's no turning back for another 2 hours. Apparently, um, we meet Mark Rylance's character, who is
Awful.
this seasoned cannibal who his
He's like,
entire look, his
I could
southern
smell you.
twang, yeah,
Oh, it's
the sort of the
disgusting.
Herbert the pervert whistle in his voice, yeah, fucking freaked me out from the minute we saw him. It was his
he's
hair, and you told
he's
me before we
too.
went in, it's his hair.
Oh, his hair. Yeah, his hair
Yeah, because
freaks me out.
it's just
He's
like there's blood in it that's like sticky but dry, and
and there's like parts of me that were like, um, there's acting, like there's good acting, and then there's
it's
like,
inhabiting a role.
are you drawing this from? Like,
Yeah.
like this is so
There's a
you're
moment
so
towards the end when he comes back and he's got it was Taylor Russell's character called Merrin, was that it?
Marin, yeah,
Merrin. He's got Merrin on a bed, and I was like, oh God, like if I
yeah,
feel uncomfortable, imagine how she's feeling. This is
yeah.
terrible.
Like
Uh
looked like I know he's a character, but he looked like he had a visible odor.
yes, yeah.
Like he looked
A
smelly.
tangible stench.
Yeah,
It was like thick. Yeah, there was when she first goes to his house because he's like, I'll take you under my wing. I'll show you what this is about. Is I smelt you from half a mile away, and you
gross.
haven't, and you haven't eaten a while. And he goes there,
Also gross.
feigns like making a chicken dinner, but there's a dying woman upstairs, and
Yeah,
then the
and like
morning after they devour
they
her.
gorge on her, but it's
Which
just like,
or the noises they
yeah,
make, like they
it
haven't
is
eaten
it.
in years. Ugh.
Yeah, it's like I said to you earlier. It's like when a child's like drinking from a bottle with like two hands, and
Yeah. Yeah.
they're like,
Yeah, it's when you're a
like
kid and
that.
you're
It's
trying to get back on the
disgusting.
swings. That and your mum's like, "No, have some juice."
Fat boy trying to get back on a swing.
That was
Yeah,
it.
no.
Yeah, yeah, unsettling. And that's when so I got this screen all to myself. I went and turned the lights on, like not like the full like bright white cleaning lights, but just the dim house lights. I think they need to come on because I feel like I'm gonna get eaten.
It was foul. It was fucking foul.
I was doing that thing. I was on the back row, and obviously there's just darkness, and I was just looking at in his corner.
Yeah,
I was like, "Oh no, there's someone there."
I know.
Yeah,
I was, and like, um, what? There's one thing that annoyed me about this movie. So at the beginning, she's never met anyone like her, and then every new place she goes to, she meets one
I
every
think
single
it's
time.
because she's acted on those instincts, that's sort of awoken this sense in her. I think that's it.
Maybe, but then I literally in the moment I was getting annoyed. I was like, "Well, this is ridiculous. You've met
Yeah.
five.
No,
You've met
yeah,
five of
no,
them, and
I
you've never seen
did
anyone
think that, but
before."
then I tried to rationalize it, and I think that's where
I was too
it was
annoyed to
going.
rationalize it
Yeah.
because I was too upset.
Yeah, so we meet Timothy Chalamet next. Beautiful boy Timothy Chalamet. And yeah, he's another one of these cannibals, and yeah, so they decide to team up, go on the road together. Because he's also, left home because of something that's happened in the past. And then on the road we meet Michael Stuhlbarg, who I'm glad he wasn't in more of this movie because Jesus, I thought, and like he played such a wonderful role in Call Me by Your Name as
Mm.
Timmy's dad, which yeah, what a great performance, not talked about enough. And then in this, this is happening again, just creepy and unsettling and filthy, and a weird cameo by David Gordon Green, the director of Halloween.
Which one was he?
He was his friend, and like the one they seem to have this romantic relationship that also involves eating people.
Disgusting.
Yeah. That's where we find out that this guy, because there are these people that, it's part of them, they need to feed. It's like a vampire needs blood. They need to eat human flesh for some reason. But this guy that's with Michael Stuhlbarg is just he just wants to be in on it. He doesn't have that need, but he has eaten 3 people. And then
Yeah,
that's when
and
we
he's
find
being
out
trained.
about the bones and all, which is, if you take it to the next level basically, and you devour the entire corpse without.
Yeah, that was fun. When they were describing that, I was like, "That's fucking awful." I was like,
Which is,
and
I
like,
mean, yeah, that comes back at the end. We will skip to the end because we've talked about what happens in the middle where she does find her mother, and then she runs off for a bit, and then finds her way back to Timothée. So they're trying to like live a normal life for a
yeah, I
while,
think
yeah, trying
they're
to,
trying to settle down and like
yeah.
be
Uh,
normal.
but Mark Rylance uh has been following her this entire way because
His smell is mental.
yeah, he seems to think that those two have got this well, him and Merrin have got this connection, and they sort of need to be together. Obviously, a sentiment not shared by her. Yeah, so he follows her, tracks her down, pins it to bed, and is about to. Well, it's not clear if he's gonna eat her or because he's just sort of lying on her.
I don't really know.
Like
I
it
I was
was a
unsure.
very uncomfortable anyway. Timothy
What
comes in.
whatever it was bad.
It was bad
There was
news.
nothing positive going to happen.
No. Yeah, Timothy comes in, there's a scuffle. He suffocates him with a plastic bag. And yeah, fucking kill him, please. I
Yeah,
just want this man to end. Uh yeah, so they kill him in the bath. Another. Oh god, I just remembered it. So Merrin
so
shoves her hand in one of the wounds in his stomach and just starts fucking kneading. I was like,
yeah, still I'm fucking
oh
bacon.
no. Yeah, I literally sat there going, oh god, no, please
Stop it.
stop. Uh Timothy took a knife to the lung, it seems, on the in all the chaos. And he asks Merrin as one final act of our love. I want to feed you. Eat me, bones and all. That is what I want to do for you. That is what our relationship means to me and you. And like, yeah, because bones and all, I going in, I didn't think that was going to be like a literal. thing. I thought it was more of a play on the, warts and all, I love you, warts and all. So I thought it was just like a cannibal version of that, which I guess it kind of is. Like, you are different and strange. So am I. I love you and every part of you, despite you not being a normie. Yeah. Like, so again, like I can watch this movie and be like, yeah, they are very good. This is well written. It's a good story. It's a weird mishmash of genres, but did I enjoy myself?
Yeah, like I think like the way that we feel is how he fucking wanted us to feel.
Which, yeah, credit
Yeah,
to him.
like
He fully went into this wanting to make my skin crawl and make me feel uncomfortable, and he did that. But I just don't enjoy that.
yeah, exactly. And like that's maybe that's the flaw with our rankings, with our rating system.
It's all subjective anyway.
But like, yeah, like
I believe Fast and Furious has merit, but you lot seem to discard that. So I've watched a few
discard
movies.
all of them.
I've watched a few movies with Calvin where I feel like I want to leave. I don't want to be here anymore. And he's like, no, yeah, that's it, man. That's that's the point.
yeah. And I'm always like, no, like I want to enjoy it. Where's the superhero?
Calvin is crazily animated ways. Just go, that's it, man.
Yeah,
And I was like, no,
a notoriously animated man. He's always fucking moving. Yeah, like,
but I was like, no, but like, yeah, I understand that and I can respect that, but I want to go into a movie and enjoy myself, and that just something like this
take away
just isn't for me.
I want to like enjoy it and like take away the message and like I can sit with it after and be like, I would watch that movie again, but I fucking wouldn't watch this one again.
No, I
has,
wouldn't rush back.
He has beaten me. I've been bested by Luca. He had me in his pocket, nice and safe, would call me by your name. And then he made that
and he squeezed you. And
yeah. And then he put out that other film, which he knew I wasn't going to watch. He knew that, so he knew it was safe. So then he was like tickling his pocket. He's like, "Come on,
no,
look, this one's going to be okay." And then
Timothy Chalamet, maybe
they're partnering up.
Maybe I'll put Timothy Chalamet in my pocket as well.
Yeah, maybe this is instead of the Call Me by Your Name sequel.
Surprise! He's a cannibal.
Yeah, he's a cannibal. Like swatting me on his leg. Oh, yeah, I'm in a pocket. I'm in a denim pocket with Timothy Chalamet. He starts fucking eating me. For some reason,
that's how you felt.
Me.
So you felt during this movie. 2 hours and 10 minutes.
For some reason, that tiny twink of a man has overpowered me. And just
we've done it again. We did this yesterday on podcast. I meant to say twig, and I said twink, which is different thing.
That's 2 twinks in 2 days.
It's a different thing.
That's the new thing. That's the new keeping a real bit. How many times do you slip in twink?
Yeah, so
that's how I felt.
Yeah, I'm fully aware now. I can separate my own preferences apart from what I actually, it does have merit. It definitely does. And I'll watch anything with Timothy Chalamet. He's great. So
yeah,
and he was good. He was good in this. It's not. I don't think it's one of his best performances, but I did think he was good. Or didn't expect him to be jacking off a man in a field from behind him and slit his throat right as he spunked. That was.
Yeah, I thought it was a bit unnecessary in terms of just like, why get him that far if you're not gonna why bother?
He probably. Probably saw he conversed with that guy. He let him win that game. So he's probably like, you know what, you're going to die, but at least come one more time,
But he barely, it's instant. Like, as soon as it started, I don't think he's ridden the wave.
No, but the euphoria has probably hit him,
Yeah, but
it's like in Gone Girl. He Gone Girled him.
he's he's been gone girls with a reach around. Yeah. No, still, I maybe if that were me, I think I'd want like I wouldn't
Wait,
want
who
to
are you in this
die.
scenario?
I'm the carny.
The
The
Carney,
carny.
right?
Yeah. In that scenario, I think I'd want like
Jacked off Carney.
to fully like like it be fully over, and then I'm like, oh
Now do it. Like,
yeah, and then I'm
yeah.
like, oh,
Oh
because like
Jesus! Like, just do it
because
now. I'm
I'm
done.
the most relaxed. Like I'm just crazy relaxed. And then I think like at that moment, like obviously I'll notice,
Maybe
but
the
like
chemical reaction of the orgasm with the throat slit just makes
with
the
the
body
being
taste
murdered,
better. Yeah, makes the
maybe.
flesh more tender.
Who
Yeah,
ate that bit? Do you reckon?
who ate that bit?
Who ate his dick?
Oh,
Surely Timothy. Sure.
he earned it. He did the hard work.
Yeah, he got him there.
Timothy, you got him there. You
Maybe
can
that's
have the
like
dick.
a maybe that's like a in cannibal terms. That's like a glaze,
Oh,
like a flavored, like like a glazed lamb shank.
oh, God. Yeah, and you do
Sous
see
vide.
like we talked about the finger, but you do see them like eating people, like, and like flesh is like it's got that like stringy like yeah. Ooh, not a fan.
Yeah.
But as a movie, I think this was good, and if you're into like some fucked up shit, then I think you will enjoy this a lot more than we
Yeah, if you're a
did.
psychopath, you'll probably
Basically,
enjoy
yeah.
it.
Um, go on, hit us first. Out of 5.
Okay, so this is based purely off my enjoyment of the movie. Not this is it's taken away how technically good it was, how well acted it was. I'm going to give it a 2 because I just couldn't. It just was not for me. They did not have me in mind when they were in production. Maybe if I spoke to them beforehand, maybe it would have been different.
So you're like,
But
guys, maybe
yeah,
just lean off a bit, like just
yeah, guys, this
tone
is a
it
bit.
down.
Is this not gratuitous, Luca?
Maybe don't have her
That's
eat
what I
her own
wrote.
hands. That
Yeah. So yeah, for 2, but like this is actually like if you like film, this is a good, well-made film. You should still watch it.
yeah.
And if you're a psychopath,
um, despite my uncomfortableness, I have got this at a 3.5 because I do think it's good. It's, yeah, like good performances. The romance works in this surreal context. Um, yeah, just made me feel dirty when I walked out. You know what I mean? Like I had to go and have a shower. Yeah, I,
just walking
I,
like,
yeah, I was walking. Like, oh, don't look at me.
yeah.
Right.
I felt like I'd done something bad.
Yeah, I'd witnessed something, and I'm like being hush about it, and it's a burden now that I've seen this movie. Right, that is it for today, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. We're going to be dropping videos all week. We've got reviews for Glass Onion, The Menu, Disney's Strange World, Wakanda Forever, Season 1 of Andor, and trailer reactions for Super Mario Brothers and Transformers Rise of the Beast live on the channel right now. This week, we're going to have reviews for Violet Knight and The Infernal Machine, as well as another episode of our podcast in which we debate the most ripped dude of 2022. I think that'll actually be uploaded by the time this goes out, so go check that out. Make sure you follow us on social media and subscribe on YouTube for all those videos as soon as they drop. Until next time, keep it real.